What's going on, guys? Josh Baldwin here. In this video, I'm going over a brand new Social Security SSI and SSDI update, including a major new Social Security Administration leadership update, a new bill that could matter to older Americans who still want to work, a bipartisan SSI reform bill that could change some outdated rules, the latest controversy over what no tax on Social Security really means, and a new oversight report involving widow and widower benefits that a lot of people may want to pay attention to. Let's get into it. First, let's talk about one of the biggest fresh developments coming directly from the Social Security Administration. On May 7th, the Social Security Administration released a new update marking 1 year under Commissioner Frank Bisignano, and the agency is making a big point of saying customer service has improved significantly. According to the Social Security Administration, the average speed of answer on the national 800 number dropped to 6.6 minutes, which the agency says is an 84% improvement from fiscal year 2024. The SSA also says field office wait times are down. The disability claims backlog has fallen. Disability hearing wait times have improved, and more than 3.1 million payments totaling about $17 billion were sent under the Social Security Fairness Act ahead of schedule. SSA is also highlighting that it has now passed 100 million My Social Security accounts. So the message the agency is clearly trying to send right now is that service is getting faster, more digital, and more efficient. Whether viewers agree with that or not, that is one of the biggest official narratives coming out of the Social Security Administration right now. Next, let's talk about a new bill that could get a lot of attention from older Americans who are still working or thinking about working. In April, Congressman Greg Murphy introduced the Senior Citizens Freedom to Work Act of 2026. The goal of that bill is to repeal the retirement earnings test, which currently reduces benefits for people who claim Social Security early and continue working above certain earnings limits before full retirement age. Senator Rick Scott has also promoted the same idea in the Senate. Now, this is one of those issues that can get a lot of people fired up, because a lot of viewers hear that rule and immediately feel like they are being punished for continuing to work after they start their benefits. Supporters of the bill say that seniors who want to keep working should not lose benefits because of an outdated rule. Now, of course, this is still just proposed legislation right now, but it is definitely one to watch out for, because I think a lot of people in this audience will find that issue very relatable. Next, let's talk about SSI, because there is also a newer bipartisan bill out there that could matter to some of the most financially vulnerable beneficiaries. In March, lawmakers introduced the Supplemental Security Income Restoration Act of 2026. According to the sponsors, the bill would update parts of SSI that they say have been outdated for decades. The lawmakers behind it say the goal is to strengthen SSI for nearly 8 million seniors and people with disabilities who rely on the program. This stands out because SSI has some very old rules that a lot of critics say no longer match the real cost of living or the way people live today. So whenever you see lawmakers using words like restoration and modernize, that usually means they are trying to tap into frustration that the program structure has not kept pace with modern realities. Again, it is a bill, not a law, but it is one of those clear SSI proposals people are now talking about in 2026. Now let's move to taxes, because this is another area where there is a lot of confusion and a lot of political messaging. You have probably heard big claims about eliminating taxes on Social Security, but there has been pushback on how that has been described. Reporting from the Associated Press said that the tax legislation in question did not literally eliminate federal taxes on Social Security benefits. Instead, it created an additional deduction for seniors age 65 and older, with the Associated Press reporting that the Senate version at $6,000 and the House version at $4,000, subject to income limits. At the same time, some lawmakers are now trying to make that senior tax deduction permanent. In February, Congresswoman Marionette Miller Meeks introduced the Permanent Tax Relief for Seniors Act, which her office says would make permanent the $6,000 senior deduction created under prior legislation. So this is an area where the headline people hear and the actual policy details are not always the same thing. And I think this is especially important for viewers because a lot of seniors hear no tax on Social Security and assume that means those taxes are simply gone across the board. But some of the public debate right now is really over deductions, income thresholds, and whether the relief is temporary or permanent. So that is absolutely an issue I would keep watching. And finally, I want to mention an oversight report that may not be getting enough attention. At the end of March, the Social Security Administration Office of Inspector General released a report on widow and widower beneficiaries and said that some beneficiaries were potentially eligible for higher monthly benefit amounts. The report focused on whether the Social Security Administration was paying widow or widower beneficiaries the appropriate monthly amount and flagged potential issues significant enough to deserve review. Now, for a lot of people watching this channel, that may sound very specific, but it matters because survivor benefits can be confusing. And if oversight reports are saying some widow or widower beneficiaries may have been eligible for higher payments, that is something people in that category may want to pay close attention to. It does not mean every survivor benefit is wrong, but it does mean this is an area where accuracy really matters. So to quickly recap, the Social Security Administration is now pushing a big message that service has improved under Commissioner Bisignano, including shorter phone waits and reduced backlogs. A new bill would repeal the entire retirement earnings test for seniors who keep working after claiming early benefits. A bipartisan SSI Restoration Act has been introduced to update outdated SSI rules. There is still major confusion over what politicians mean when they say no tax on Social Security, and a new oversight report says some widow and widower beneficiaries may have been eligible for higher monthly payments. If this update helped you out, make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications, and share this video with anybody else who receives Social Security, SSI, or SSDI. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.